President Trump has been he's been a Rottweiler here, but now he's the Rottweiler who's caught the car, and that's the moment that we're in now. My question is, what is he going to do with the car? We've got 70 countries out of about 195 that are begging us to agree to allow them to lower trade barriers. Why is that happening? Because Donald Trump. Tariffs are a government intervention in the free enterprise system. It's government influencing. It restricts the freedom of people and businesses. I say let's go to zero trade barriers. If Vietnam, if Taiwan, if the UK, if the EU wants to do it, let's do it and let American companies compete with foreign companies. Competition makes us all better. And may the best product at the best price win. That ought to be our goal. But I'm not saying it's not President Trump's goal. I just don't know what his goal is right now. I've listened for the last week to a bunch of people in Washington say very self-confidently they know what the president's thinking and or they know what the ramifications of all this stuff's going to be. They're very self-confident. They act like they discovered gravity. They all know. They're all clairvoyant. And I'm saying I don't have the slightest idea what's going to happen. I just think zero or virtually no trade barriers by foreign nations and by America would be victory. If I were president, I'd declare victory. China wants to make a deal. China can't afford not to make a deal.
President Trump's bold trade tactics have the world on edge and 70 nations on the phone. What's the end game here? In this deep dive, we'll break down how tariffs, pressure, and deflation are cornering China and reshaping global trade. Is Trump about to declare economic victory? Let's find out. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly deep dives into global politics, economics, and power moves that shape our world. Hit that bell so you never miss a hot drop. President Trump has been called a political Rottweiler, relentless, aggressive, and always charging. But now, he's caught the car. The question is, what's he going to do with it? Today, we're diving deep into a moment that could redefine global trade. Why are 70 countries begging the U.S. to drop trade barriers? What does China's economic pileup mean for the future? And is Trump actually holding the winning hand? Out of roughly 195 countries, 70 have reportedly reached out to the U.S., asking to strike new trade deals, most of them pushing for zero tariffs. That's not a coincidence, it's a reaction. Tariffs, while often unpopular, are leverage. Trump's aggressive use of them has created real pressure. And now, nations like Vietnam, Taiwan, and even key EU members are ready to negotiate. Why? Because Trump disrupted the system. Let's talk about the dragon in the room, China. Right now, they're dealing with deflation. Prices are dropping. Demand is weak. Their economy is in a slow-motion pileup, and the last thing they need is a prolonged trade war with their biggest buyer, the United States. They need a deal. They can't afford not to. And if Trump lines up deal after deal with other nations at zero tariffs, China's isolated. That's next-level pressure. Here's the crazy part. No one really knows what Trump's actual endgame is. The pundits in D.C., they talk like they've cracked the code, but let's be honest. It's guesswork. If I were in the White House right now, I'd be working the phones non-stop, lining up deals with anyone ready to say yes to zero barriers. Canada, the UK, the EU, even Vietnam. A global alliance of free trade and real competition.
It looks like a multiple vehicle pileup in terms of its economy. They can't afford to get in a trade war. I mean, a third of the world's countries have, in the last couple of days, have called the president and said, I want to make a deal. And a lot of them have said, zero trade barriers. That's what we want. That's victory. If the president starts doing that, it's going to put enormous pressure on China. Let me say it again. I don't know what deal the president wants to close. I know what deal I would close. I'd be working today, tonight, all weekend long, lining them up, going, let's do a deal, zero tariff, trade barriers, this is awesome. And I'd call the Prime Minister of Canada and beg him, pretty please, sugar on top, accept zero trade barriers and we'll do the same with you and let's be friends again. But I do not know if that's the game plan.
And hey, if you're loving this kind of breakdown, smash that subscribe button right now. It's free and it helps us bring you more deep dives like this every single week. The pieces are on the board. Trump's pressure campaign has brought 70 nations to the negotiating table. China's economic engine is sputtering, and the world is watching to see if this is checkmate or just another bluff. Is the goal total free trade, economic dominance, a political win before the next election? We don't know. But if Trump locks in a string of zero-barrier deals, that's not just a win, that's a legacy. The Rottweilers caught the car. Now it's time to see what he does with it. What do you think? Is Trump about to pull off the greatest trade deal of the century? Or is the world just playing into his hands? Drop a comment below with your take, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you're always first to the truth. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.